we certainly appreciate you joining us this afternoon. Today, we're going to be talking about our topic of 5 days of medical billing training that can literally change your life. I know that just here recently, I've talked to a few of you that were asking about the importance of training. Is it important to attend the live training? And hopefully, we'll be able to answer those questions to you and for you this afternoon. Again, as we get started here, I want to introduce myself. My name is Eric Ogea. I'm the Director of Research and Development here at American Business Systems, and certainly I welcome you here. What we're going to talk to you about is not only just the training, but all aspects of this business model, which you can see here. Everything from iClaim, which is our practice management system, to the top box at the top that says EMRX, that's our electronic medical record system, and then all the other systems that we have here today. We're going to talk to you about that and about how that actually works in and through training, as the folks that are coming to training next week will certainly be able to experience there. It looks like I'm just a little bit frozen here on my side. Here we go. Folks, what we've been doing for the last 21 years now is been helping folks just like yourself get started in the medical billing business. Actually, it's grown from just medical billing to what's called revenue cycle management. And folks that do come through our training class are actually certified as a medical revenue manager. So that's some of the things that we'll be talking about today, because a lot of people want to know about how they're going to be certified, and that's one of the ways. How that's done is through our billing platform, which you see to the left, iClaim, and what you see to the right, which is the EMRX, and the same thing down there on the iPad as well. This is how we demonstrate, not only to you, but to your doctors, how we can help them salvage, basically, their practice. And that's how we're going to be able to do that. Folks, if you've never been out to our website, we encourage you to go to American Business Systems. That would be evsystems.com. That's our website address. So go out there and look this over. We just on our website alone, we have a ton of information. However, you see those two orange boxes, title bars there. One says request more information, and the other one says get started here. This will actually get you into our section called our virtual brochure. If you'll go into those areas, this is where you'll be able to do a much greater due diligence in this business. Everything about the opportunity, how we help you get clients. Again, more information about the training, support, technology. And when you're ready to move forward, that last one of those last steps there is where it says final steps, and that's how you'll be able to download the purchase agreement and also maybe how you wanted to fund this particular business. So as you're going through this virtual brochure, you'll be able to see that information there. Again, I may be just a little bit hung up here on my side. There we go. As people are doing their due diligence, we encourage you to go to credible places on the internet. The only one that we can think of outside of our own website here at AV Systems is to go to the Better Business Bureau. And there on the Fort Worth Better Business Bureau, you can see that on a scale of A+ to F, we are having and maintaining an A+ rating. That's not something we buy. It's something that we work very hard at keeping and maintaining. And we just had some of our brand new licensees actually join us here at our headquarters here in Fort Worth, which is a little community just north of Fort Worth called Keller, Texas. You can see it there at 5751 Kroger Drive. You are always welcome to come up and visit with us. We would love to have you, which is a great window of opportunity for yourself. Let me introduce you to Patrick Phillips. Patrick is the founder and the CEO of American Business Systems. He and his wife Linda actually started this business again over 21 years ago. They were actually doing business medical billing when medical billing, quote unquote, wasn't cool. So, but they are one of the pioneer folks that actually helped get this business kind of this home-based type business going. Patrick has written a couple of books, How to Reprogram Yourself for Success and the Cash Crunch to Cash Flow book, as you see here on the screen. And both of these books are available on Amazon.com. You can certainly go out there and find that. He is also a contributing writer to the Billing and Coding Advantage magazine. So Patrick, let's just get this thing kicked off here about some things that people can think about whenever it comes down to learning medical billing.
Yeah, because folks, first of all, let us make this clear. We know that you're on this webinar because you're investigating this business. Some of you are further along in your due diligence than other people, but it's okay. Wherever you're at, we welcome you to the webinar and welcome you to ask any questions you want. during the webinar. Now, some of them, if we don't think they're applicable to what we're talking about, we may wait till a little bit later, but we will get to all your questions today. So anything you type in there, we're going to get to eventually. Even if we go past the hour, we stop recording usually at somewhere around on the hour, but we'll continue to answer those questions as we go along. Now, there are a lot of things to think about if you're deciding whether or not this is the right business for you and your family or spouse or partner to get into. So one of the things, Eric, is I think it's the fact that they can go two different ways, can't they, on this business?
Absolutely. Yeah, you could go about it two different ways. Certainly you can go down the path of what most people think would be the more conventional, more traditional type of way of learning, and that would be through a medical billing school. I think, and I know I've talked to people, I know the rest of the team has talked to people about, deciding which path to go down. And especially even when they're looking to get into this business, they ask the question, well, do I need to get certified as a medical biller first, or do I need to go to a medical billing school? Patrick, you and I both know that we've had folks that have come into this business that have actually gone through a medical billing school, but still they find themselves in the same position as everybody else in the webinar today. How do I get a client?
Yeah, I mean, that's really what it boils down to, Eric. I think most people who look into our business would get into it if they did feel a comfort level, at least, that they're going to be trained enough to, number one, get a client that's going to pay them to do the billing, and number two, that they actually know how to do the billing. And they go, well, this seems more difficult than it is. And there are medical billing schools out there. Let's face it, there's a lot of stuff on the internet. There are college courses probably at your local community college and so forth. But folks, most of these things are very expensive, and they are for the purpose of going out and getting a job working for a doctor. Yeah. We're talking about you starting your own business here.
Yeah, and I think that's the clear delineation that we need to make today. There is what we offer here at American Business Systems is not necessarily a diploma, nor a degree, nor a associate's degree. However, you can see there, you can get those. You can see a diploma is going to cost you around $15,000, and that's just a diploma. It's going to take you a couple of years to be able to get that. Same thing with an associate's degree. It's going to run you a diploma is 6 months, but an associate's degree in this could run you as high as $25,000 as well.
Yeah.
However, all this does is position you in a position to go work for a doctor, and we're talking about a single doctor, and you're going to just be paid a salary.
Yeah, and look, we've done the research for you. Here's the real long link here. Maybe if you watch the recording of this webinar, you can copy that down. But that is out there to allied health schools, which actually does this training and says that your average salary out there is $38,700. Now, for people looking to go get a job, that's a pretty good salary, Eric, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with $1,700. But our licensees can make that from signing up how many clients?
Well, one doctor, I mean, if they got a specialty, like, so let's just say like a podiatrist, that is well within reason for that. And that's being able to do billing for one doctor, make $38,000 a year for one doctor. But with the ABS platform, and what we're going to be able to show you here, that just leverages that you can do multiple doctors. So times this, maybe you times 5. That's the potential of what you can actually do here with American Business Systems.
Yeah, and there's really no limit to the number of doctors you can get, because if you get to 5, let's say, and maybe that's taking up a good portion of your week, and you don't want to grow any more doctors so that you don't have to do that much more work, well, you simply can farm that work out to an independent contractor. We go into that in our training class, how to find and hire people and pay them to help you out.
Exactly. So here's where everybody on the call needs to kind of understand, as Patrick's bringing up this next one. Again, we're just talking about just trying to show you the difference between working for a doctor or working for yourself. And these things that we're showing you is basically if you're going to go work for a doctor. And we can tell you that you can make this, not only double this with just 2 doctors, but certainly, as Patrick said, you could go as far as you want to go with this.
Yeah, so they're showing here out of this chart here that your hourly rate can be anywhere from $10.40 to $18.93. And that means a median of about $14 an hour. Folks, some of our licensees tell us that for the time they put into this business doing the billing for doctors, they can make 70, 80, $90 an hour. So again, the decision you have to make when you're looking at this business is, do I want to go down the path of just going out and finding a job, or is it time for me to tell everybody else that, hey, I'm going to be in control of my own life and I'm going to start my own business?
Yeah, and that's part of what we want to kind of show here is you know, are you going in with a mindset just to become an employee, or are you going in the mindset to run a business? And you could get up to a scale of, let's say, 10 doctors. Well, certainly you're not going to be able to do billing yourself for 10 doctors. So at that point, at least now you can know what you as a medical billing company owner could literally go hire a medical biller to possibly work for you. So we're showing this to you in two different ways. One, certainly, we're hoping to encourage you to go work for yourself, but on the other hand, that you can see that there are going to be plenty of people out there for you to hire and put to work. Because Patrick, you've met with a lot of our licensees. They put a lot of people to work.
Yes, we've got some that have 30 plus employees working for them. So again, you can keep this small if that's what you want. I've got licensees who've been with us for 5 to 7, 8 years that are still working out of their home. That's okay because the doctors don't care. They don't come visit you in your home. You go to their office to do the proposal and the what we call the practice analysis, and you meet with them there. So if you want to keep it small, you can. But if you want to grow this large, believe me, I got stories. I got stories to
Yeah.
tell
You certainly do.
because we've got lots of
Okay,
people that have grown it really big. Okay, so you do
exactly.
again. You have these two paths then, and of course you could go to the medical billing school path, or you could invest with American Business Systems because we've put it all together in a package that includes everything that you need to get the business started. And as Eric mentioned earlier, some of these services that you see here, in addition to the billing that you do for the doctors, these are other services that you can offer to the doctor because, Eric, we train them to be more of a revenue cycle manager, don't we?
Yes, that's correct. Matter of fact, I was doing a demo with someone that's actually looking to get into the business here with us here at ABS. And one of the questions they asked, well, what can we do to really showcase ourselves as not just being quote unquote a medical billing company? So if everybody looks straight right in the middle, you see that there's two boxes under EMRX, Audit Guard and Code Right. Those two services alone could start to differentiate you from all other competitors, all other competition that might be out there, because not only are you going to be able to bring a medical billing platform like iClaim and have a built-in electronic medical records platform, but folks, you could literally go into a doctor's office before you even do one day of billing and do an audit on their current position, where they are right now, and get a good snapshot. And boy, you talk about bringing value to a doctor, Patrick. It's amazing some of the things that we can actually do. And folks, you can do all of this without the experience of going to a medical billing school. This is what we help you with. So think of ABS. Everything that we do here is your support as your back office running your business.
Well, and that brings up a good point, Eric, that a lot of people think that they have to have training and experience in dealing with all the medical codes. And as we're showing here on this next slide, all of the codes are built into our system. In fact, there are what are called ICD-9 codes. Those are the diagnostic codes that tells what's wrong with the patient. There's new codes coming out in October, the ICD-10. And as you can see from this screenshot right here, all of those are actually already built into our system. So folks, you
Exactly.
don't know anything about these
Yeah.
codes.
Yeah, you don't have to know anything about the codes. The codes are built into the system. If the doctor works the EMRX system properly, which if they just do what the system tells it to do, it's literally going to give them the new code. And if you heard me mention in the introduction of the webinar today there's only a few handful of training classes that we're going to have between now and October. And folks, if you want to really take a good opportunity, a window of opportunity, there is this change that's coming up, the ICD-10 here in October. Patrick, wouldn't you? I mean, you talk about changes in business things, and so we're always looking for ways to take advantage of any change in the market.
Yes, and we try to stay on top of those things. That's how we've, existed and survived for the past 21 years. So Tim asked the question earlier, what are the key differentiators of EMRX? That is our electronic medical record system you see illustrated here on the iPad. And iClaim, which is our billing system or practice management system that you see up here in this upper left-hand corner, versus the comparable competitor applications. Well, one of them, Tim, is the fact that we have these codes already built into the system. That's unheard of. Some systems are not even going to be ready by October 1st. So we're way ahead of the curve, and we stay ahead because our software was developed and is backed by medical doctors. So they are making sure that we're, way ahead of the curve on stuff like that.
Yeah, and Tim, that's just one of the differentiators, and I mean certainly there's several, and I like to interject this, for everybody that's on the call. If you haven't gone through one of our system demos, we would like to show that to you, because as you're preparing yourself to become an entrepreneur in this particular business, you need to know what are your differentiators, because you got to know why a doctor would use you in the first place. And one of the best ways for us to help you with that and to understand that is to take like a test drive. And that way we can show you, because one of the key components that you can't see here on the webinar is that really the key differentiator, Tim, is that we already have built inside of the system our clearinghouse, which allows us to do things that no other systems can do. So please get with anybody that you want to get with here at ABS, and we'll certainly help you out with a demo on that.
Well, and the other thing, Eric, I think that we've kind of skipped over simply because we know that our system is not a server-based system. In other words, the software doesn't reside on your computer or the doctor's computer. It is cloud-based. So as you can see illustrated here, it runs on an iPad, which of course is not connected to anything. It's running off of a Wi-Fi connection and connected to the cloud. So ours is a HIPAA compliant. That means it complies with all the rules and regulations about patient privacy and security, cloud-based system. So Tim, that's another one thing that differentiates us from the other competitors that are out there. And then here's another thing. We don't just give you the ability to handle the doctor's reimbursement, as illustrated here, but also to deal with all of his electronic records, his payment options for his patients. All the coding is built in, as we mentioned earlier. We help the doctor with marketing their practice and all of their receivables. So it's a complete revenue cycle that we're dealing with here.
Exactly. And so I always say this, Patrick, it's hard for us to package in everything in a webinar to describe this. So the best that we can do is kind of give you a quick tour of the training and what you're going to learn when you do end up at training, because it's almost like 100% of the people that come to our training class always say, wow, this is bigger than I expected. And so hopefully we can give you a taste of that today.
Yeah, so as we mentioned earlier, we train you and position you as what's called a revenue cycle specialist. That is somebody who's trained to deal with all aspects of the revenue cycle within a doctor's office. It means the money from the insurance companies, from the government agencies, from the patients, all those things that make for revenue in a doctor's office. We have solutions for all those things.
Yes, and that's the beauty about it. So expand your mind, expand your horizons here. You're going to be bigger than just a medical billing company.
Right. So as we talk here in just a moment a little bit more in depth about the training that you're going to be going through, believe me, guys, this is something that a lot of people don't realize. This is an in-depth training, well, it's 4.5 days, but we put in there at least as many hours as you'd get in any normal day because we start early and we end late sometimes, don't we, Eric? But it's
Yeah.
very intensive. It's a lot of information. And the great thing is that at the end of the class, we give you a set of DVDs of a recording of a previous training, but the same material. In other words, you'll have a recording of all material that you cover. So don't worry about trying to retain everything. We know it's a lot of information. But as you can see from this manual here on the screen and the slide that's about to come up, we cover everything from the overview of our system, the hands-on use of it. We even cover business basics like how to set up your company, how to register it, how to set up your business card, your website, and so forth. And of course, all the different proprietary information that we have about marketing. Eric, I think that's the thing that surprises people the most is how many different ways they can go out and market these services to people.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, there are two main buckets of information that you're going to get from this training. One is certainly how just to do and do the process of medical billing. However, the biggest bucket of information you're going to get from us is actually how to get your first client. Folks, we've got the way that we can help you implement those doctors into the system, into iClaim or EMRX. That's why you rely upon us on the back end. We'll help you with all of that. However, our first goal for you is to help you get that first client. And so that's what you can see here. That's what we really want to help you out with. And Patrick, I'm going to interject this question. This one did not come in, but it's a question that we get asked several times and quite often, and that is, do I have to come to Texas and go to this live training? Can't we just do it via a webinar like what we're doing today? What is your answer to that question?
Well, and that may be what George is referring to there. He says, is there going to be a video version of this program? So, George, if you're talking about is there a way to study at home, the answer is no. We want you here live because this live training has so many advantages over doing something by correspondence course or video. Now, having said that, we know that there have been some exceptions in the past, rare occasions where somebody maybe for physical reasons can't travel, can't fly. If there's some extenuating circumstances, you should talk to your ABS rep. But in general, all the things that you see here on the screen, folks, are covered in detail with questions, answers, little pop quizzes, exercises, breakout sessions. This is important that you are there to hear the questions, for example, that other people ask. Sometimes people ask questions that you go, oh, man, I'm glad they asked that. I should have asked that myself because you can't think of everything, right?
Exactly. You can't. And I would add to what Patrick's saying, folks. There's just nothing that can what we would actually say help you even better than to attend the live training. We take this very seriously. We know that the money that you're investing into yourself, we do take seriously. So we want to make sure that when you get going, that you're just not handed a set of videos or a set of books and then some marketing material and just let ABS pat you on the back and say, wow, we hope you do well. Give us a call if you need us. Folks, that would not be good for you. We know that. That's why we have these 5 days of live training. It's imperative. If you are going to invest the money, please invest your time and get here to these live training classes.
Yeah, by the way, Tim says Jason is giving me a demo tomorrow. So good. I'm glad you're going to get that demo. Again, the live demonstration of our system will just blow you away, folks, when you see it. And it'll all click. You'll go, oh, I get it. All right. So, Eric, one of the things that we cover, of course, is in addition to the medical billing side, are what we refer to as our auxiliary services. These are services that licensees are free to offer or not offer their prospective clients. And all of these services, of course, have to do with the revenue cycle of the office. And they're all money makers for you as a licensee of ABS.
Yeah, you can see the two to the top left, iClaim and EMRX. Those kind of go hand in hand. That's what you would see somewhat as the core type of the business. However, the audit guard and the code right, the quick collect, audit card, auto card, choice pay, the iDocs now, those are auxiliaries, and as Patrick says. And so We encourage you, first of all, in our training class, don't go quote unquote cold calling and just say, hey, would you like me to do your medical billing? We already know the answer to that. Don't go down that path. That's why we would take you through this training workshop. You see the manual there. You see all the aspects that go along with this. And each of these auxiliaries is a way for you to get in front of the doctor. So that's why, again, and let me just say this also, that this training class is taught by a licensee who has gone out there and she's built her own business. She's extremely successful. She has employees. I mean, they are W-2 type employees, not 1099. She's got folks that are actually in a physical office paying those people like that, and you couldn't ask for a better instructor. And so someone that's out there who's been on the webinars that you're on today, been sitting right where you are. So not only are we giving you all this information, we're actually providing it to you through someone that's actually been there.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I'm glancing at the questions coming in. One came in here from George. He says, can your system handle a group of 25 physicians with different specialties? It's amazing that you just asked that. I just did an interview with a licensee who just went through training, by the way, the last part of last year, and they already have signed up a group of over 25 physicians. So yes, the answer is we can handle anything that you throw our way, because remember, we are the nation's largest network of independent medical billing companies, which means if you brought on a group that had 100 doctors, we've got people that can help you out with those doctors and that billing until you can ramp up and get to the point where you can handle that yourself. So good question. All right.
Yeah, great question.
So used to, when my wife and I started doing medical billing, folks, we did it on a piece of paper. Yes, it was printed on a typewriter. And it looks like this. This is called the 1500 form, and it's a standard form the government came up with, and all insurance companies use this form. If you can fill out this one piece of paper, you can do medical billing for doctors. So as you can see, it's not brain surgery. It's just information about the company itself, the insurance, and what the doctors saw wrong with the patient, what they did for the patient, and the amount of money that they should be billed. It's pretty straightforward. Now, of course, all of that information that you get from the doctor electronically nowadays, not on paper, is put into our system, either by the doctor themselves using our electronic medical record system, or you can put that information in yourself right into the system from any computer anywhere in the world that's connected to the internet.
Yes. And folks, just to get it down to the simplest terms is that anything that you saw on that left-hand page, you're just going to learn how to type it in here. So if you're pretty good at doing some data entry, you can certainly make a lot of money at doing this. Plus, on day one here at the training class, you're going to have hands-on training. We're actually going to boot up the computers. Those that are going to be coming up to classes next Monday, when you walk in, you'll see them all over the tables, just like you see here on the screen. And certainly once we get through some introductions and get a couple of things out of the way first thing Monday morning, we're thrusting you into the system so that you can have some hands-on training with the system.
Yeah, and even though you're welcome to bring your own laptop or iPad or whatever to the class, it's not necessary, because, again, we bring the laptops in ourselves and provide those for you. We work in teams of 2, as you can see here, so that one person can do the data entry while the other person is helping read the information that we give to you to put in the system. And guys, we've got people who walk around and help you with that. If you get stuck, we get you out of it without embarrassing you. It's very hands-on, and important that you realize that there's some group dynamics going on during this week. When somebody said earlier, do we have a recorded version of our training? The point is, guys, that you want to be there so that you are interacting with the other people who are the same place you are, starting their business from scratch. And it's great interaction, isn't it, Eric?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so good because it kind of breaks some people out of their mode about, number one, getting started with a business. We know that there's a little bit of fear factor that goes with that. And then, how am I going to get that first client? What am I going to do? And, it's through these times where you're learning to kind of walk through all of this that you're going to find out it's not that big of a deal, because in the end, you're going to find out that doctors just need help. And if you think about it even further than that, part of one of the things that you're doing, you're helping doctors stay independent. And if you take it even one step further than that, you're going to find out if we keep doctors independent for your community where you live, you're going to have a better health care program and plan than if doctors just start getting bought up by hospitals. So, folks, we want to keep our doctors independent.
That's right. Well, now before we start talking about our instructors, let me just address something here that Dev typed in. Says, we see all the good things that ABS has to offer. There is always risk investing in any business. What is one risk that ABS has for our investment? Eric, I can think of a risk. The risk is that you come down and you see what we have learned over the last 21 years about this business, how to get clients, how to build your business, how to run your business, and you go out and try to reinvent the wheel. That would be a big downside, wouldn't it, Eric? And we've seen that done, haven't we?
Yeah.
People who've been in business, for example, in the past themselves, and they think they know better than we do as to how to build their business. And of course, you're free to do whatever you want to do. When you become an ABS licensee, it's not like a franchise. You don't have to do anything that we tell you to do. We're just going to tell you the best practices, and then if you decide to do something else, of course, you're welcome to, but you can't blame us for that, right?
Exactly. You can't blame us, and that's why we said you could go down the route of becoming a medical biller at a school, or you could go down this way and hopefully do very well.
Okay, so let's talk about these certified instructors. Here's a handsome young man right here that's one of our instructors.
I don't know about being young anymore. Thank you.
Yeah, well, the point is that, as you can see, we do have people like Eric who's actually doing the instructing during the week. Now, we also have a licensee who comes in. We're going to show you her picture in just a moment. But let me just say this. When we say certified, folks, we mean not just with a piece of paper that Eric earned at some college or something. He's been in this business now for, going on 9 years, I guess, Eric, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
There. And that is a long time to have real hands-on, real life experience. The College of Hard Knocks. He's been there, done that, and is involved in it because Eric is our research and development director. And that kind of ties in with one of Tim's questions. He says, what is ABS doing to proactively stay ahead of its competitors? And how do you prove it to your licensees a culture of continuous improvement?
Well, that's a great question, Tim, and I don't know if when you get to do the demo tomorrow, if you're going to get the opportunity, but when Jason does it, maybe just ask him a little bit. But there's even within our own system, we're staying ahead of the competition. We just got really launched here just here recently, showing our licensees a new part of the system about how a doctor can do what's called an EVisit. And that's an electronic visit, like a Skype call, but it's built inside of our system. So the doctor remains inside of the EMRX system. The patient logs in through their patient portal side of everything. So, Tim, we are proving to our licensees on a continuous basis of new things. Patrick, it was funny. I just talked to one of our licensees about a week ago, and who's been with us for a really long time. And a lot of our licensees, when they get going, they hardly, come back to us for anything because they're just blowing and going. And I mentioned one thing to her the other day. It says, hey, do you know we're doing this? She goes, I had no idea you guys were doing this. I said, well, you better pay attention to what we're doing. Go check us out somewhere on the licensee support site because, Tim, Patrick's got a one here just like that. So that's what this EVisit looks all about. And so, Tim, there's things that we're doing all the time to help our licensees stay way ahead of the game.
Yeah, that was when you and I were just kind of doing some research and development on the telemedicine, or what they call an EVisit module that's built into our electronic medical record system. And guys, when you see this, it is Star Trek-ish. I mean,
it really is. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's the latest stuff for sure. Okay, so we mentioned earlier our instructor that's doing our instructing, at least for right now. She is a licensee. Her name is Cynthia Anderson. She's from Arizona, and she's been in this business now about 8 years. So she's built her business. As Eric said, she has commercial office space and employees working for her. And she finds time every 6 or 7 weeks to come down here and train this class. And folks, you have never sat under anybody that is as knowledgeable, that's as sharp a business person as this lady is. She is dynamic. You're going to love it. And we get rave reviews by her about her at the end of the class.
Yep, she's a smart cookie whenever it comes to this, and she will keep your attention. I promise you. She is she's like the Energizer Bunny. She just keeps going and going and going.
You will not be dozing off during her training.
You will not. That's for sure.
So
and folks, the other thing that you're going to have to do learn about is your marketing, folks. Again, anybody could start up a business today and say, "Hey, I'm in medical billing," but until you get that first client, folks, you're just not in business.
Yeah, hey, I'm just going to interrupt this train of thought just for a second. Some people may be having trouble. Dev says he is not able to see the slides or video. Folks, that may be because you have closed a window or put another window on top of our window. So browse around there on your computer down at the bottom and see if maybe there's a window open somewhere, that you're not able to see right now. That may be the only problem. So yeah, Eric, the marketing is probably the biggest hang up for most people, wouldn't you say? That's their biggest concern, at least. And of course, we addressed earlier that we have a few things that we've gone through to help people realize that you're not just out trying to get the doctor to switch over their billing. There are other things that you can help the doctor with. For example, we mentioned earlier the code right. Doctors have a problem in that they don't know necessarily whether they're coding correctly. They could be undercoding. That means they're leaving money on the table for visits. Or they could be overcoding, which means they could get in trouble with Medicare. That's just one of many services. iDocs Now, Eric, that's probably the biggest thing going right now out there is that doctors want to convert all those paper files to electronic searchable files on the internet in the cloud. And we have a service that can provide that for doctors. That service alone could get you in the door talking to not just doctors, but any business that wants to go electronic on all their paperwork.
And that's correct. And one of the other ones, that we have, this kind of goes back to Tim's question: what are we doing to always improve? And we have one that we just launched it just about 6 or 8 months ago on compliancy, and it's called Compliancy Guard. And that one will certainly get you into the door. I mean, if you can imagine walking to a doctor's office and the first words that are coming out of your mouth is, "Can I speak to your compliancy officer here at the doctor's office?"
Right.
Patrick, we've heard from so many of our licensees, it was almost like you would think that the FBI had shown up.
Yeah, they start panicking, don't they? And that's a service that's not even illustrated here on this screen. He's talking about one that is just in the, it's already developed and released to our licensees. We just don't have a separate flyer there because it's that new. So there, Tim, that's proof that we're constantly coming up with new stuff all the time. Hey, Pam is asked, you know what, Eric, I clicked on the delete button accidentally on the question right above Pam's. There's Pam and then...
Oh, yes.
Anyway, if you could see if there's a question there that you wanted to address. Pam is just saying, do we open our new business in a name that we create? Yes, Pam. You can create your own name for your own business. We'll help you deciding what that is if you want us to help you. And she says, if so, how can we show that we're a part of the ABS Nationwide without a name tie-in? Well, here's a good example right here. As you can see, there's room here for adding your own contact information on our flyers. So we've branded this so that it looks like you're a part of something big, like ABS, and yet you can put your own name on those items. So we'll teach you in the training, Pam, how to position yourself as a part of the ABS, again, the nation's largest network of independent medical billing companies in the United States. And we'll show you how to tie in with us during the training.
Yeah, and I'm going to address that, then I'm going to go to that question you were asking about, Patrick. But Pam, one of the things that you saw, everything there was branded a certain way. That's one tie-in. The whole branding of iClaim and EMRX was strategically put together. We feel like one of the sharpest guys around in marketing on our team, Jason, who has again strategically branded all of our services to help bring the tie-in of what you're looking for. So we've actually thought about that. The question that came in right before Pam's was from George, and George's question is a great question. Can I sign up doctors anywhere in the country, or am I limited to where I live? George, you can go coast to coast. You are not limited except for your own vision. So you can go as if you live in Texas, you can get clients in Louisiana or California, wherever you want to live. So hopefully that answers your question there,
Yeah,
George.
the licensee that I just mentioned that I had interviewed, those of you who go to our blog on our website, you'll find that interview that we just posted with Lonnie Washington. He's in one state, and he signed up a group in 6 states away. This is the group that's like 25 or 26 doctors in the group. So yes, the answer is there is no territory, so you're not limited at all. Now let's talk about web marketing, because Eric, a lot of people know that to be in today's world, you have to have a website. So we provide templated websites to get people started at least. It has all the information about all of our services. All the copy is already there. The illustrations are there. You can pick from different looks and feels, and then we add your name and your logo at the on the website there for you. So we'll teach you how to do that kind of web marketing, not just through a website, but we also teach about the social media and how to promote yourself out there on LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook, and I don't even know what all those things are.
Well, folks, to just let you know that we do have it covered, because that's how we grow our business here at ABS. So we just help you duplicate what we do already. You'll hear that talk about Patrick whenever you come to training. Patrick says, learn from what we do, and hopefully you'll learn from what we do, and some of the things, even with the web marketing, that we can certainly help provide that for you as well.
Yeah, because guys, if you're getting emails from us and phone calls, automated phone calls to remind you about the webinar and things like that, remember, you're actually we're teaching you by example how we know how to market and how we've applied those things to this business for our licensees. So don't be bugged by our stuff. Learn from it. We're teaching you the exact way to do this. Okay, let's see. Okay. Well, Eric, I'm going to move on to email marketing, because specifically follow-up is a big problem for people in today's marketing world. If they don't know how to follow up.
Yeah, that's you would think that's kind of a given, but we've heard from a lot of licensees that have gone out there. They've got a doctor's interested, and they'll even call us and tell us up here at support that, hey, we've got a doctor that's interested, and then never followed up on, either by phone call, direct mail, email, just going out and meeting the doctor, sharing documents, sharing notes. Folks, that's just the way that you do this. And one of those ways is email marketing. And so the whole campaign of learning how to do that properly is done through our week of training.
Yeah, and we even teach you how to do direct mail marketing. Believe it or not, in today's world, direct mail is now becoming more effective than email, because with an email, Eric, I don't know about you, but I hold my finger over the delete button, right? And so when I see junk email come in, I delete it before I even have a glance at it. But with something that comes in the mail, like a postcard or a greeting card like these that we provide to our licensees, we have an online system that will mail all this out for you, but it's a physical, full color card that comes in the mail. So we know it works, don't we, Eric? We've tested this out and have proven it to ourselves that you can sign up doctors using an automated follow-up system like this.
Exactly. And yeah, let's not discount the power of the direct mail, especially what Patrick is mentioning now, that it's easy for people just to hit delete. But boy, getting something in the mail is almost unique now. And then, besides that, we've got to show you ways of how to do business networking. There's a right way to do business networking, and there's a wrong way. And I think I would say, Patrick, probably the majority of our licensees have got their first client because they've done business networking the correct way.
That's right. As you know, Eric, about maybe 6 years ago, I started a networking group here in the Dallas area to teach people how to network effectively. So we incorporate all that into our training. And folks, you'll learn why business networking with groups that meet specifically to share leads with one another, why this could be your only marketing method that you ever need, and why this method works so well. The best places for you to network, how to find networking groups in your area, and professional associations in your area to tie in with. Folks, this is a tremendous way to build your business without spending a whole lot of money. Now, there is some time involved in this, of course, but you won't have to spend a whole lot of money to get clients. And folks, you may just need that first client. Eric, we've had many licensees tell us they did what we told them to do to get their first client, and then they never had to do any marketing after that because it all grows organically through
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and address a question here from Pam. She's asking the question, what percentage return do you get from the snail mail marketing? Well, Pam, that kind of goes hand in hand with what we're talking about here with this network. So let's kind of role play this out. Let's say that you attend one or two of the right types of business networking. You become a referral partner with another individual, and then all of a sudden, you've got a referral yourself. That's where you can start targeting using that direct mail and not waste a lot of time there. And then you'll see your percentages go way up from there.
Yeah, Pam, you probably have done some direct mails while you're asking that question, because usually in direct mail it's very low. It's maybe a 1 or 2% return. If you're getting 3% return, then you're doing fantastic in direct mail. We've had people get 12 to 15% return. Why is that? Because, like Eric said, we're targeting the right people at the right time. This is not just blasting out a bunch of mail to doctors in your area. You have to know how to do it and the right people to approach and how to get it on their desk. And that's all the secrets that we teach you during the training week. Okay, Eric, we're going to move right on here because we're wrapping up as quick as we can here. But let's talk about the trade show marketing. Trade show marketing is wow. There's lots of trade shows out there and expos going on all the time, aren't there?
Yeah, all the time. And this is a great way, because instead of you going out and what you would think knocking on doors, you're actually getting the doctors or some of their staff coming to you, asking you questions, and again, then you turn around and you start drip marketing with that direct mail portion of it. So there, you've got so many different options that we show you. Just to let everybody know, there's not just one piece of marketing that works. It's all of them working in combination.
That's right. And trade show has been proven because we have provided for you, as you saw earlier there, put that back up there, the full booth that stands up in a booth, and then there's the tabletop. We've already created these for you folks, and as you can see, they're generic. They don't have the name of a particular company. You add that to your literature that you pass out there during the trade show. But it gets people into the booth, gets them talking with you, and like you see here, this couple, who's a licensee couple, utilized our full-size booth in just a little 10 by 10 foot square area. So it's we basically just loan this out to you, for the shipping costs. Well, Eric, let's talk about sales rep, because a lot of people, when they start talking about marketing, they get very nervous. They think, oh, I'm not a salesperson. But there are salespeople out there, aren't there?
There are sales people, there are sales organizations out there that you can work with. And, it is a great way to build your business. Remember, you are a business owner. And so we're going to teach you how to find these sales reps, maybe even how to find these sales organizations, how to interview them, hire them, train them, pay them, motivate them. The whole aspect of it is all built inside of our training week some that will be a part of next week.
Yes, and I see several people on the webinar today that are coming next week. So we welcome each one of you guys to the webinar today. You'll be going to different webinars, by the way, after you complete training, webinars that are specifically aimed at our licensees that have much more in-depth information, of course, than we can give on these webinars. That kind of answers, I think, Dev's question there about, does ABS have ongoing training conferences to keep growing our business after we become a licensee? Dev, we don't have live conferences. What we have are webinars like this one that our licensees attend. They can type in questions just like you're typing in here, and we address all of that thing usually on webinars like this. So let's talk about consultative marketing. Eric, that term for a lot of people doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Kind of explain what that means to them.
Sure. First of all, nobody likes to be sold anything. You don't want to be told that you need a particular piece of business or product. So we teach you how to use what's called a practice analysis. This is not selling. This is discovering. That's the way we like to put it. And so once you're able to get in front of a doctor, you're asking them questions to discover about their business, what's their current system that they're using, whether it's a server-based or web-based, how many claims that they're processing in a month, what are their current, what's their current billing look like, what are they spending on billing. There's a whole ton of information that's on that practice analysis. Therefore, at the end of that, when you get all that information, then you'll be able to come back, process that, provide a report back to the doctor, and this can all be done without the doctor ever engaging you to actually do their billing in the first part. It's just that you're offering this as a free practice analysis. Once you get this information, then you can go into pricing and proposal. And these are some of the things that we help you with. And you'll even have some hands-on action during the week of training to kind of learn how to do the pricing and proposal, go through a practice analysis. Again, all to help you. The way, Patrick, I like to do it, I like to help people, and especially with doctors, I want them to discover why they might need it.
Yes, because when people discover that they need something, you don't have to convince them. You don't have to twist their arm, right? They're ready to put out the money. You show me something that's worth more than a $5 bill, and I'll give you a $5 bill without hesitation. You don't have to twist my arm to do that. So that's what we do in these proposals. We show them the advantages of outsourcing their billing, going into electronic medical records if they're not already, or switching to ours. And they do it on their own. By the way, that kind of ties in with George's question here about, can your system integrate with existing EHR, or does it operate separately? Well, it is a separate system, George. Ours is, of course, that if the doctor doesn't have an EHR, they can get on ours. But it does integrate with existing EHRs as well, as long as they're what are called HL7 compliant. That's just a standard that's used amongst EHRs to communicate data from one to the other. Okay, Eric, let's talk about those demos one more time, because this is, I think, one of the things that makes our licensees so successful when we do the demos for their prospective doctors.
Yeah, Tim had already mentioned he's actually going to be doing a demo with Jason. So again, anybody that's on the call today, just feel free to call us up, work with your ABS rep. Any of us will help you with the demo. But this kind of, Patrick, if there's a way to kind of quote unquote test drive what we do here at ABS, it's the best way, because this is exactly what we do for our licensees, for their doctors. So as you can see demonstrated here, you see that us here at ABS would be on the left-hand side conducting the demonstration through a go-to meeting just like this. You may be at your house, you may be at your site of business, you might even be there right there with the doctor. However, you can see the doctor's logged in as well. So this is where we kind of take over. This is where we can answer any of the questions the doctors may have. Doesn't matter what specialty. We know what the problem lies with their cash flow. It's not a matter of specialty issues. It's a matter of cash flow issues. So we can help any doctor, from anything from a chiropractor to an orthopedic surgeon. We can help them, and we can do and show them that through the demonstration marketing.
Yeah, and along with 5 other people that are dedicated to doing these demos for our licensees, Eric, you've done some for doctors. And what's the one thing that doctors say most of the time when they are watching this demo?
Besides asking how much, the main thing that they ever say is, wow, I can't believe your system actually does that. And the reason that they say, well, how much? Because they're afraid that it's going to cost them more than what they can afford. And the reason I even brought that up in this, to answer your question there, Patrick, is because we can show them that this can actually be included with what the licensee or the medical billing company is actually going to be able to help them bill for. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
you talk about being competitive. I can't think of any other place that can be as competitive as we are.
No, it's a no-brainer. That's why, folks, when we do these demos live for your prospective doctors, we're closing about half of them. Yeah, half of them become clients. That's unheard of in any kind of marketing or sales that's out there for any product or service. So I think we got this figured out after 21 years, don't you, Eric?
Exactly, and that's another reason why the doctors say, wow, they cannot believe how much money that they've spent on prior EMR systems, and billing systems, and even with outsourcing their billing, when they can see what money that can be saved and the money that they're going to gain, that's another reason why they say, wow. All right, Patrick, I know we're here at the top of the hour. This hour is gone by fast.